Now, we just heard about the coronavirus lockdown extension from the president to be implemented across some major commercial hubs, that's Abuja, Lagos, and Ogun State. But will it still be business as usual for the public and most especially the private sector? We're being joined now by the Group Managing Director of Flour Mills of Nigeria, Mr. Paul Gbededo, for his insight. Good morning, Mr. Gbededo. Thanks for joining us on the program. Well, first, let's hear your thoughts about the speech of the president.
Good morning. Once again, good morning. I will say clearly that the federal government is handling the COVID-19 issue, very, very well, very professionally. The federal government is listening to professionals, medical professionals, and taking the right decisions at the right time. The important thing for us is to ensure the health of our people, to ensure that we protect our people. Health is first. Once we can ensure that we handle the health issues properly, then other issues we can handle later. But first, we need to ensure that our people are protected and they are safe wherever they are.
Now, as a food giant in the country, apart from the fact that some of your management staff now work from home, will this change anything for you?
Well, we are in the food sector, and the federal government, in its wisdom, has considered us as part of the essential services. And so we are doing everything possible to take care of our people first and foremost, to ensure that our people are safe, since we have to be working for the nation. So we have provided all the guidelines for our people in order for them to maintain all the protocols of the COVID-19, making sure that they observe the social distancing, making sure that we take all their temperatures every day. They use sanitizers, they wash their hands, and ensure that wherever they work or whenever they work, they are in the right condition, and making sure that they separate themselves, from the others. For us, we need to ensure that we do our best to support Nigeria at this time.
Now, tell us, what are your expectations from the MDAs, the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investments, the Ministry of Transport, Aviation, as well as the Ministry of Agriculture and other related bodies in terms of the directives given to them to ensure that the economy still functions under the lockdown?
Well, it is important that we follow all the protocols and all the instructions that are coming from the Ministry of Trade and Investment, that is coming from the Ministry of Health, and also from the presidential tax on COVID-19. And we fully support and embrace all the activities of government in this area. And we are supporting government as a company in all ways that is possible. For instance, the initiative of the Central Bank of Nigeria with the organized private sector, we embrace it fully and we support it. And we have contributed 1 billion naira to the fund of Central Bank. But in addition to that, we have taken proactive measures to ensure that we support the National Center for Disease Control by making sure that we import medical equipment and materials that will be useful, especially at this time. The total amount that we have expended in exporting this material to Nigeria is over 1.5 million. This includes 35,000 laboratory-based test equipments, 100 per day field testing equipments, 331,000 pieces of personal protective equipments, like N95 masks, protective gloves, coveralls, eyewears. That will be enough for 10,000 health givers all over the country. We have also placed order for 75 ventilators. And all this equipment we are to receive in the next 2 days in conjunction with the National Center for Disease Control. Also, we have been distributing materials all over the country to support the effort of the federal government. For instance, the food items we projected we are going to donate is over 300 million naira. Already, we have distributed food materials to Lagos State, to Ekiti State, Ogun State, Niger State, Edo State, Kaduna State, Cross River State. And we are expected to distribute to almost 15 states across the Federation, especially those states that are host communities, because we operate all over the country.
Now, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, this is the support that we are given, as a corporate social responsibility to ensure that we support Nigerians at this time so that our people can be kept safe and not go hungry.
Now, having made these contributions and donations now towards the fight against COVID-19, would you be expecting any form of incentives from the government post-COVID-19?
Federal government is putting all efforts in place to protect businesses in the country. We are also working very closely. The organized private sector is working very closely with government agencies to ensure that whatever ideas are necessary to protect not just the economy of these businesses, but also of the country, is on the table for discussion. Already, we have seen Central Bank coming up with some palliatives, especially to small businesses, to get some loans so that their businesses can keep on running. And these loans are at concessionary rates to these businesses. For us in the larger business group, we have seen some other steps taken by Central Bank to support us in giving moratorium on the loans from Central Bank and also reducing the interest rates of these loans. These are very good initiatives, but they can be better. We are still discussing issues about tax relief. We are still discussing issues on duties and duty reliefs. And we hope that both the Central Bank and the Ministry of Finance will consider these issues and come up with a robust strategy to ensure that after COVID-19, the economy of the nation can kickstart immediately.
Now, your company just listed a 20 billion naira bond on the stock exchange. Of course, you must have had to carry out some filings through the SEC and other government agencies. How easy was it to file remotely or electronically through the available channels within the lockdown?
Well, these are extraordinary times, and unusual things are happening. We are learning every day. And the form of business is taking different forms today. even considering our company, over 50% of the support services are working from home. Most of the meetings that we do nowadays, executive meetings or board meetings, we are doing them remotely. We are in virtual meetings. We are using all the technologies available to ensure that we keep on with our businesses and nothing is disturbed. So in the same way, because we have to raise these midterm notes, our bond, and this is the time of lockdown, we are forced to do things virtually. We are speaking with our regulatory agencies remotely. Even the address that I gave to the NSC was done virtually. So, we are not really missing much because of the technology that we have today. And this is what we need to be thinking about in the future, because businesses need to be driven digitally. And we just continue to learn and improve on the technology that we have today.
Well, Mr. Gwededo, I'm sure that many would like to know what the proceeds of your bond will be utilized for, especially during this period of lockdown. So would you kindly tell us about that?
Well, this is an ongoing bond issue. You recall that we floated a 70 billion, bond in the market, and we are doing it in tranches. We have done the first tranche of 20 billion. We have done a second and third tranches. And that is why we had to put this 20 billion now. And what are we using it for? We are using it mainly to ensure, efficiency in our system. We are using it to deleverage and make sure that our balance sheet is looking very well and fair. We are looking at the productivity of the company and seeing how we can improve our productivity by doing smart things. And this is helping us to ensure that we deliver the promise that we have made to our stakeholders and making sure that our business remains accretive.
How are you sourcing your raw materials at this point that the borders are shut, and how has production been lately?
It is important that we ensure that supply chain is moving very freely. We are happy that federal government has made provision to ensure that imports are still coming in to ensure that our businesses, especially these businesses that will have to continue to run, are run. Albeit, there has to be efforts put in place to ensure that these borders not allow those who are COVID-19 infected, to come into the country. So we are following all the protocols at the ports, whether at the seaports or the airports, to ensure that everything is done in line with suggestions from the National Center for Disease Control. So our supply chain in that regard is protected. But for FMN, we have been looking inwards over time. Our supply chain, especially for our grower businesses, is localized. And therefore, we are ensuring that whatever raw material that we need locally that is available now, we are aggregating and ensuring that our businesses, are running very well. So we have had some little, problems here and there, but all in all, supply chain is running, and we are happy that the government has given that window of opportunity to continue, to run our business.
Group Managing Director of Flour Mills of Nigeria PLC, Mr. Bolgwededo, thanks for speaking with us on Business Morning.
Thank you very much.